In the unforgiving world of mixed martial arts, a story unfolds.
A rally late. Look at this.
A tale of unwavering determination, resilience, and unyielding spirit.
Alexandre Pantoja.
From the vibrant streets of Brazil, the fighter emerged, honing his craft through sweat and sacrifice. His journey began in obscurity, navigating the trenches of regional circuits, where victories were hard-earned and defeats served as fuel. With lightning-quick strikes and a ground game that left opponents gasping for air, he blazed a trail towards the apex of combat sports. Witness the rise of a relentless warrior, whose journey embodies the essence of perseverance and the path of a true underdog. A fighter who, through sheer willpower, carved a path to UFC glory. Buckle up as we go through the life and rise of the current UFC flyweight champion, Alexandre the Cannibal Pantoja. Alexandre Pantoja was born on April 16, 1990, and came from a humble background. He saw the separation of his parents at a young age, leaving him devastated. Alexandre often traveled to Bahia to meet his father. In an interview, Pantoja recalled how much he missed his dad and how much he craved the relationship of a normal family.
I just want the love of my dad, you know. I just want feel him. I thinking about to call to my dad and try to cover all the scares, you know.
It was this that led him to understand the importance of family later on in his life and shape the champion we see before us today. Alexandre started practicing multiple disciplines, honing his skills in Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, and wrestling. Soon enough, he started competing, and with the success he experienced, he knew that MMA was in his blood. Pantoja made his professional debut in July 2007 against Antonio Carlos, showcasing his excellent jiu-jitsu skills by securing a victory via armbar in the first round. From then onwards, Alexandre went on to decimate the regional scene, including fighting under promotions like Shudo Brazil and WOCS up until 2015. Having accumulated a fight record of 16-2, his performances caught the eye of the biggest league in the world, and it wasn't long before the UFC came calling. Alexandre's path started on a reality show called The Ultimate Fighter – Tournament of Champions. In its 16th season, 16 flyweight champion fighters from various organizations around the world came under one banner to fight each other. There were two teams formed, both led by veterans of the flyweight division, Joseph Benavidez and Henry Cejudo, where the winner of the show would get a shot at then-champion Demetrius Johnson. Pantoja increased his chances by emerging victorious over fighters like Brandon Moreno and Kai Kara France, advancing to the semifinals. Unfortunately, Alexandre fell short against Hiromasa Ugakubo via unanimous decision. Although this defeat would eliminate him from the tournament, the promotion had already seen enough and announced shortly after that he had signed a contract with the UFC. The road to his success in the UFC was far from smooth, as the Brazilian fighter made his UFC debut in January 2017 at UFC on Fox against Eric Shelton. Both fighters battled hard, but it was Alexandre, through his relentless work ethic, who pulled through with a win via split decision.
For the winner by split decision, Alexandre Cannibal Pantoja.
Just 6 months later, Pantoja booked his second fight on UFC Fight Night 113 against Neil Seery. The Cannibal showed his tenacity in the octagon and confident ground game, using his takedowns and grappling skills to outwork Neil throughout the contest. In the last couple minutes of the third round, Pantoja was able to latch on to a rear naked choke, forcing the tap.
Under the chin, Series tries a hand fight. There's a tap. Beautiful work. Victory.
Just as things were starting to look promising for Alexandre, he suffered his first loss at the hands of Dustin Ortiz at UFC 220. The fight didn't go very well for Pantoja, as his cardio became an issue in the later stages of the bout, allowing Ortiz to land more strikes. Losing by unanimous decision and tasting the bitterness of defeat made him work even harder at the gym, hungrier for the next fight, and seeking more opportunities to show his resilience and determination. Alexandre's fourth fight was with Brandon Moreno, a fighter he had previously fought and defeated. This barn burner produced a memorable affair, full of highlights for both of their careers, capturing the true essence of fighting, constantly trying to one-up each other. It would be Pantoja's hand raised again at the end of the entertaining war. Looking to start a new winning streak, the Cannibal defeated his next two opponents, Yuta Sasaki and Wilson Reyes, both in impressive fashion. Yuta would submit to a rear naked choke in the first round, and Wilson would in turn suffer an absolute mauling by TKO. Proving that he was a force to be reckoned with in the flyweight division, Pantoja was given Davison Figueiredo. This was a fight that was highly anticipated by the fans at the time due to the aggressive styles of both fighters. There were implications of a future title shot based on the results of this matchup. In a bout which lasted the full 15 minutes, Figueiredo would spell an end to Alexandre's run, marking another setback towards his dreams of becoming a UFC champion.
Davison Dos Guerra Figueiredo!
With his propensity of rebounding even stronger after each loss, Alexandre Pantoja returned to the stage with even more determination. His next fight matched up against Matt Schnell at UFC Fight Night 119. Although the fight did not last more than a round, it was pretty action-packed right from the start.
Nice quick combination of Schnell. Top and Schnell again having to go to his body lock for Pantoja.
Pantoja's performance demonstrated a more refined and precise striking technique. After a series of punches and connecting an overhand right on Matt, the refs stepped in to stop the fight, awarding the Cannibal a TKO victory.
Lands that Pantoja. Oh, he's down! That's going to be the finish! Pantoja ends it!
In what many believed to be the start of another run, the unpredictable nature of MMA soon came into play. Pantoja's next opponent, Askar Askarov, proved to be too much for him, blending together his striking and wrestling more effectively and handing him yet another defeat. Learning from past mistakes, Alexandre's fighting spirit didn't waver as he picked himself up again and went on to win his next 3 fights, winning a decision over Manel Kape and submitting both Brandon Royval and Alex Perez with a rear naked choke. The Cannibal would keep collecting Performance of the Night bonuses, only adding to his status as a ferocious and exciting competitor while climbing the ranks. Riding this wave of momentum, it was only obvious that the UFC would grant a title fight opportunity to Alexandre. A chance to prove himself as the king of the division. A chance to grab the gold he worked tirelessly towards. This shot was the culmination of years of dedication, resilience, and unyielding determination. The stage was set for UFC 290 as Pantoja stepped into the octagon to face the highly skilled and worthy champion, Brandon Moreno. The anticipation was palpable. It was a showdown between two elite fighters, each possessing their own unique arsenal of skills and iron will.
Nice combo by the champ.
Good jab and a follow-up right hand. Now an uppercut from Moreno.
Another great combination.
From the opening bell, both fighters showcased their exceptional abilities, engaging in a display of striking and ground prowess that left the audience on the edge of their seats. Both fighters went at each other until the last second. In the early minutes of the first round, Pantoja found success when he shook Moreno with a punch and followed it with ground and pound, leaving Moreno hurt. In the second round, though, Brandon came back strong, using his strikes more effectively against Alexandre and even managing to land a takedown. By the time the 5th round arrived, both the fighters looked exhausted. The pace was impossible to keep up. When the final bell tolled, the arena erupted in applause for both warriors who had put on an awe-inspiring performance. The judges' scorecards were read, and we had a new UFC flyweight champion.
And now!
The respect and admiration for Pantoja's valiant effort echoed throughout the arena.
Now, Dad, you proud of me, Dad? You proud of me?
In our eyes, Alexandre Pantoja has always been a champion. The fact that he was working as an Uber Eats delivery driver as a title contender, just to provide for his family, speaks volumes about his character. Even during COVID, Alexandre worked multiple jobs to support his family, ensuring they could continue living in the States. He emphasized the importance of resilience, discipline, and humility, qualities that transcended beyond the boundaries of the sport. In his upcoming title defense, the Cannibal will be going up against Brandon Royval at UFC 296, a fighter he has faced before. Now, let's be clear about one thing. Despite the number of fights Alexandre Pantoja has had to go the distance, he tends to empty his gas tank earlier than later, going for the finish. Don't trust me? Look at the championship rounds with Brandon Moreno in his last fight. He was visibly exhausted and couldn't wait for the bell to ring.
And that's the thing about once
He's got his right arm across the face. He's going gable grip.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, even strikes, but the damage we felt.
However, I don't think Royval is going to be that much of a hurdle for Alexandre, unless the guy turns up with an infinite amount of stamina. On paper, there's not one thing that Brandon beats the Cannibal on. Pantoja will be looking to end this fight early, like he always does. And if you want to catch this live, make sure to tune in on December 16th for UFC 296.